Hey everybody, let's see, earlier this week Disney finally released the trailer for Captain Marvel, the 21st film in the MCU, and to say fans were excited would be an understatement. The trailer teases at the fractured identity of Carol Danvers, a former Air Force pilot given extraordinary powers by the mysterious Kree race. Captain Marvel has been claimed to be the most powerful hero we've seen yet in the MCU, and she may be one of the key figures in taking down Thanos once the Infinity War sequel drops next May. Today, we're going to be looking through the trailer and picking out the 3 things that made us most excited about the film. And at number 3, we had the 90s. From the very first scene of a spaceship crashing into a Blockbuster video store, we know we're in for a 90s-filled ride. With quick looks at windbreakers, classic cars, and plenty more, we've got a really unique period piece that will serve to set up the character of Captain Marvel before she takes on Thanos, and will explain why she has been a part of the MCU up to this point. What really makes me excited for this, however, is the soundtrack potential. Many Marvel films are known for their great soundtracks, from the classic AC/DC hits of the Iron Man series to the funky 60s and 70s jams in Guardians of the Galaxy. So with this movie set firmly in the 90s, are we looking to have a soundtrack full of 90s jams like the Spice Girls, the Backstreet Boys, and TLC? Only time will tell, but I'm willing to bet that Captain Marvel don't want no scrubs, so I'd say a nostalgia-filled 90s soundtrack would definitely be fitting. And with that in mind, let's move on to number 2, the return of Coulson and Nick Fury. In the most recent films, we haven't typically seen a lot from Clark Gregg and Samuel L. Jackson in 2 of the roles that helped define the Marvel Universe as we know it, Agent Phil Coulson and Nick Fury himself. But since, spoiler for Infinity War, Nick Fury's very last action was to call Captain Marvel for help, we can be sure that he's going to play a pivotal part in this film. And sure enough, we're able to see both of them back with hair. We've seen a lot of work with de-aging in Hollywood recently, and Samuel L. Jackson really does look exactly like he did in the 90s. But even with the de-aging aside, these 2 government agents were the string that connected Phase 1 of the MCU together, and I think it's awesome that they're bringing them back to help introduce someone who might be Earth's mightiest hero. And speaking of Earth's mightiest hero, and number 1 in the best thing in the trailer, we have Captain Marvel herself. When I first heard about the character, I was curious as to how they're going to separate her from the dozens of other heroes we already have in the MCU. And it looks like they've done that perfectly with the focus on her fractured identity. Between her barely remembered human history and her time as a battle-hardened veteran of both planetary and intergalactic war, Carol Danvers strikes me as something like a superpowered version of Jason Bourne, an incredibly skilled and powerful person searching for who they are in a world that they aren't entirely familiar with. And of course, there is no doubt that Brie Larson is going to kill it in this role. I love Brie Larson, she's awesome, and this sheer variety of the work that she's done is going to make her easily capable of bringing a lot to the role. From the intense drama of Room to the comedy and action of works like 21 Jump Street and Kong Skull Island, where she also starred with Tom Hiddleston, another great MCU person, I think she'll fit perfectly into the genre-blending mashup that we typically see in a great Marvel film. So there you go, we've got the 90s, we've got Samuel L. Jackson with hair, and we've got an incredibly promising heroine that may be the universe's last hope against Thanos. So get ready, Captain Marvel is coming to theaters March 8, 2019, and I've got a feeling it's going to be marvelous. Now back to the host.